Hello, good afternoon all. Prashna sir, I have given you the presenter rights. Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am.
Prashna sir,
Yes, ma'am.
am I audible sir?
Yes, ma'am. You're audible.
Good afternoon all. Join fast, we are starting session 2 of day 2. Over to you Prashna sir, you can start the session.
Okay. Thank you, ma'am. Okay. Till now, we have seen that how to make bucket using graphical as well as CLI command. Okay. We are heading towards the topic where we have left previously, that how to put a data inside a bucket using CLI commands. Okay. So first of all, we'll start up our console. On console, you can see I have logged into my console and I will check my S3 bucket in recent logins. It's showing the home page of S3 bucket console status storage simple storage services. It means there is no bucket in my system. Okay. So first I will create a bucket by graphically. That will be AWS bucket 305 South region Mumbai CL enabled. To check the block all public access. I acknowledge and create a bucket. The AWS bucket name is already consistent present, so we'll change the name and put some more things. That is, as I said, the bucket name must be unique. Okay. Here we can see we have created a bucket by using graphical. Okay. Now, if you as the last in the last session we have seen how to create bucket in CLI mode. We'll again create a bucket using CLI mode. And then I will show you how to put data using CLI mode into the bucket. As there was a question from participants in previous session. Okay. So first, for using the AWS CLI, you must using CLI, you must have the Amazon CLI 64-bit Windows installer installed in your system. After that, we will open our command prompt. Inside command prompt, we have entered some command for making bucket. So first of all, we have to log into that console. So we will put a command AWS space configure Okay, they have my access key as I entered in the last session. Secret key also. After that, the default region name, that is AP South 1. If I want to change it, then I can put the another one also, but I will keep it as it is. Next, the default output format JSON and enter. Now we are in AWS bucket also. Okay, we have accessed the bucket. If I put a command AWS S3 ls, ls means list the bucket in S3. So it's showing the output that we have created a bucket, AWS bucket 230523 previously using graphical method. Now, if you want to create a bucket using CLI method, we'll put command AWS space S3 make a bucket MB space S3 colon forward slash the bucket name. Like I'm putting my name. Okay. Okay. They have created the bucket with the name Prasanna08. If we go and check whether the bucket is created in GUI, so there is a presence of a bucket we have created using CLI method. Now, as there was a question that how can we put the data from our system to CLI to bucket using CLI method. So there is a command we'll be going through. First of all, I will check the folder or the data which I want to put into my bucket. So first of all, on desktop, I will create a folder of that data. First of all, I have created a folder on desktop and put it all the data which I want to upload into the bucket. I have created a folder named new folder. I just change the name of that folder and just change the name. We testing. Okay. Now command for uploading data. First, I have to switch to the folder So it means I have to change the directory of my system. I will put cd desktop as the folder is on desktop. After the desktop, the folder is in, the data is in testing folder. Okay. So I am in the folder where the data is present for uploading into the AWS bucket. Okay. Now the command is AWS S3 sync. Syncs. It means what? We have to synchronize the data in our S3 bucket. Okay. Dot space S3. The dot represent your desktop. That's why it is very much important to put the dot in a proper way by spacing between the sync and S3, then S colon forward slash and the name of a bucket where you want to put the data. That is 08. Okay, enter. This process will take some time. Okay, so as you can see, the data is uploaded into the bucket. So we can see the data in on our console. We will go to bucket to check the data we have uploaded using CLI method is present inside the bucket. So do you want to repeat me how to upload data inside bucket using CLI? Okay. So anyhow, if there is a new employee or user in your company and you have kept in your data on the desktop folder, and somehow he deleted the data from the desktop folder, but you need it badly. Okay. Okay. So I'll just delete the data from my folder. On the desktop, I'll delete the complete data inside my folder and make it empty. As my folder is not empty. So you okay. As you can see, there is no data inside my folder, desktop testing folder. There is no data. And I want to retrieve that data. Okay. I'm in bad need of that data if someone got deleted from that folder. Then in that case, we can retrieve the data from our bucket using CLI command. How? I just show you. So from the same folder, I will run command AWS S3 space sync S3 colon forward slash from the bucket name, and after that space full stop or dot and enter. This command will run your downloading option and sync the data again, and your data will be present again in your testing folder. Is it clear? Now we will try to remove bucket. That is EWS S3 remove bucket S3 colon forward slash. Yes. Yes, we are syncing the data from bucket to desktop folder from where we have lost that data. So we are having a copy of the data in our bucket. Yes, we are deleting a bucket right now. Remove bucket failed and error occurred. Why? Because the bucket consists of object. Bucket is not empty. Okay. You can easily delete data from using graphical also. As I have clear deleted the data from geographical user. Okay. Now we will look for the another topic. Next topic we are having in our session. Okay. By closing the command prompt right now. Close this. Okay. Let's remove. Okay. The next topic of the session is versioning. A minute. Okay. First of all, we will see what is AWS versioning. I hope you can see this. Okay. It's not shared. Okay. As you can see, AWS versioning. What does it say? Versioning, it means the keeping the multiple form of an object in the name same S3 bucket. Versioning, it means keeping the multiple form of an object in the same S3 bucket. Versioning can be used to retrieve, preserve, and restore every version. Means bucket consists of two objects with the same name, but two different but different version ID. It means it has uploaded twice, with correction or without correction. Versioning enabled buckets allowed you to recover the object from the deletion or override. It serves two purposes. Okay, it recovers your object from the deletion and overrides. If you delete an object instead of if you delete an object instead of deleting the object permanently, it creates a delete marker which becomes a current version of an object. When you delete an object from the bucket, it does not get completely deleted. It just create an marker. It create a marker. If you overwrite an object, it creates a new version of the object and also restored the previous version of the object. The points to remember in AWS versioning are it stores all versions of an object, including all writes, and even if you delete an object. It is a great backup tool. It has a backup all over the versions you uploaded time to time. Once the versioning enabled, it cannot be disabled, only suspended. If your bucket having versioning policy enabled, it means the versions of object you are uploading will be created again and again. But it is within the same name. Yes, ma'am. Okay. It is integrated with the lifecycle rules. Versioning multi-factor authentication MFA delete capability uses multi-factor authentication can be used to provide the additional layer of security. The MFA will be used for securing your bucket as it was the topic in IAM. We will be looking in further sessions. Okay. Till time we'll look for the AWS versioning. Yes, yes, ma'am. Because of versioning, the previous version of data is also available over there. I will show you how we can do that. And okay, first of all, the bucket. I have created a bucket previously as we have created the normal buckets. But first I have to see whether the bucket is version for, enabled or not. So in properties, we have bucket versioning. We can see here is the edit option and the bucket versioning is disabled. Okay. So I will just enable the bucket versioning. If I enable the bucket versioning, it can only get suspended but cannot get disabled. As per the statement, save changes. Okay, the versioning is enabled. We have enabled the versioning from inside the bucket. We can also create a versioning bucket at the time of creation of bucket. Okay. First of all, on the desktop, I will create an empty text file and upload it to the bucket. Text document, name new text document. Okay. I have created an 0 KB text document. Okay. Now I will upload that document on the bucket, inside the bucket, upload, add files. Okay. On desktop, there is a new text document we have just created 23 May 23 2:38 p.m. Okay. Open it. I have just uploaded. Okay. As you can see, the name of the document text is given. Okay. It is uploaded. Before this, we have not enabled the versionings. So this option, show versions, below the action option, show versions, was hidden. Now, as we have enabled the versioning, the show versions options is given. If you click on show versions, there is a no multiple version, but our object is having a version ID. Okay, so now I edit the text document from my system. Okay, the text document file we have created, we will just edit something inside that. Okay, I have written something inside that file. Just save it. Save, close. Okay. Now, again, I am uploading the same file from my system. On 240, I have just edited, so it is the latest update time. Open. Size is 51 bytes. Okay. The same object is been uploaded. But after uploading, the data in my object is still showing the only single file. So for that, I have to select this show version options, and it will show the previous file as well as my current updated file. You can see the actual size of that file, the timing, and the version IDs, the previous version ID and the latest version ID of that object. By selecting this object, I can download it Okay. And the previous object, I can also download that thing also. It means because of versioning, you can not only access or get the base file, but you can also get the latest file you want. So is it understood? Okay. Now I'll show you how to create a bucket with versioning already. Already from the basic option, not by putting it enable from inside. So we'll just create a bucket. Here we have option bucket versioning. So we can enable it from here now, here also, and create bucket. Okay. So this is how we will version data of the data inside our bucket by keeping bucket versioning on enabled. Okay. So next, we have to share our bucket name and bucket URL ID. That then only one can see our bucket. Sharing credentials of. I will show you how one can replicate the data from one bucket to another. Yes, you are right. Replicate doesn't mean sharing, but when someone have access, okay, I'll just check. Wait. Okay. In options, we are having access points. You have to give the access point name and choose the bucket from and browse the regions and virtual and whatever the VPC ID and their policies you can attach. Okay. Now we will see how we can host the data from a bucket to like a static website hosting. In properties of bucket, we have static website hosting at the bottom. Static website hosting. We'll just enable it. Here, if you are having an HTML page, you can host it from here also. You just need an index page which will be using in your further work if you want to convey the static website. Okay, moving further. As we have seen the creating of creation of S3 bucket, uploading data, removing data, okay, making public, versioning of bucket, how to create bucket using CLI, how to put data into that bucket, how to download the data if the data has lost from our system. Now, I am deleting the buckets I am having, or I will keep the one bucket and I will delete this bucket. Okay. Okay, I am having this bucket. I will put some data in this bucket as it is versioning enabled or disabled. I will just check. It is enabled. Upload just some data. Add files. Like these are the images we are using to upload. Okay. These 5 images I have uploaded. If I want to set the permission of public ACL, I will grant the permission and upload it. Okay. So this bucket is in our Mumbai location. If we check the bucket properties, we can see the AWS region of this bucket is Mumbai AP South 1. Now we will create a bucket again with another name, another bucket 5 in different region, that is Singapore region. Okay. Singapore is ACL enabled, and check and I acknowledge the object and make bucket versioning. While doing the cross replication, you will have to enable versionings of both the buckets of both the region. Create bucket. Okay. So two buckets are created. The one is AP South one and one is AP Southeast one. That is one is Mumbai and Singapore region. In Mumbai region, we have uploaded some data, and in Singapore region, it's an empty bucket. Cross region replication statement says cross region replication is a feature that replicates the data from one bucket to another bucket, which could be in a different region. We have created two bucket, single a bucket in each region. One is Mumbai and one is in Singapore. It provides asynchronous copying of object across bucket. Suppose X is a source bucket and Y is a destination bucket. If X wants to copy its object to Y, then the objects are not copied immediately. Means at the time of replication, the data will be get copied in another bucket, but it will take time as per the size also and as per the cross replication region also. Some points to be remembered for cross region replication are two buckets, enable versionings. Amazon S3 encrypts the data in transit across AWS using SSL. These are the system provided. Already uploaded objects will not be replicated. The objects we have uploaded previously will not get replicated. The important points are versioning must be enabled on the both source and destination buckets. The reason of both buckets must be unique. Unique means different. All the files in an original bucket are not replicated automatically, and they can be replicated through AWS CLI. All the subsequent files are replicated automatically. Files in the files in a file cannot be replicated to multiple buckets. Delete markers are not replicated, and the versionings, delete versions and delete markers are not replicated. Okay. So we will just create a cross region replication rule as this bucket. Okay, this bucket has the data, so we will create cross replication rule over here, cross region replication rule over here. Okay, so I will go to the management. In management, the second option is replication rules. Create replication rule. Replication rule name, put any kind of name which will highlight you that this is cross region replication. Cross region to by Singapore. Okay, status enabled. We will have to choose the source bucket from where you are replicating the objects. Okay, so source bucket name is capital 10, source region Mumbai AP South 1. Choose a rule to scope. It is the limit the scope of the rule using move more filters or apply all the bucket. I am applying all the objects in the bucket. Okay. Destination. destination must be of choose the bucket in the same account or in the another account. I am choosing the bucket in the same account I am having. Okay. And the another, I will browse the bucket. Another bucket name is this one, another bucket 2305, and choose the part. That means this means the another bucket 2305 is my destination bucket, which is located in Asia Pacific, Singapore, AP, Southeast 1. Okay. I am role. For doing this, there must be identity access management. So this role we can create it previously, create a new role, create a new role. After that, we are keeping all the options as default, because I don't need this. Okay, and save. So basically, buckets do not replicate the previous object, but nowadays it asks you for that do you want to replicate the previous object? If I want to check my previous latest bucket, then I will put yes to replicate the existing object and submit. Okay. After that, there is an option create a batch operation job, that is job setting option. If you want to create a batch option after some period of time, you can create it or you can just cancel it. So here our cross replication rule is created. Okay, we'll go to buckets and make refresh the page and just check the another bucket whether the object is replicated or not. As the statement said, it will not replicate the data instantly. Refresh, it's not replicated. So what we'll do, we'll just put the new data in our previous bucket or source bucket. Add file. I have these two text documents. Loaded. Now I will check the new bucket. It's not yet there. We'll just wait for some time for replication. So here we can see in another bucket there was no data previously, but just within some seconds, before some seconds, the data is replicated as it was in versions mode. We can check the latest version of data we have uploaded in the previous the first bucket and obtained the data in second bucket. We have uploaded that data in the first bucket. Here this one, and we found the data in another bucket here. We can see whether it is a version or not. And if you wait for some time, we can also see the previously uploaded data inside this bucket. See? We'll just try to put another data as the previous data are not being replicated. There is no reason for not replication. It will take time. For the data which is already present in the bucket and we replicate them, it will take time. If we put the latest data inside the bucket and check the another bucket, it won't get time to replicate. As you can see, I have uploaded data in the previous bucket and you can see the result in this another bucket 230. So replication happens, but not in the previously uploaded videos. Okay, clear? So according to topic and schedule, we have cleared all the topic for today's session. But now I am going to tell you more something about the buckets. Okay. I will tell you how we can apply the life cycle management rule on buckets. Okay. So see, first of all, we are having this bucket which contains all the data. If you want to change the data from this is standard data uploaded in a standard class. Okay. If I want to change the type of storage or standard class of the data, then I will go to the management and create a life cycle rule. In life cycle rule, okay, as we have the theory also on that. So the life cycle management theory. Life cycle management is used to show that the objects are stored cost effectively throughout their life cycle. Means till the time the objects are present in your bucket, it will have to be cost effective for you. A life cycle configuration is a set of rules that define the actions applied by S3 to a group of objects. The life cycle defines two type of actions. The first one is transition and other one is expiration. Okay. So the transition action, when you define the transition to another storage class, for example, you choose the transit the objects from standard IA storage class 30 days after you have created them, or archive the object to the glacier storage class 60 days after you have created them. Means once you have created the object in bucket, you can move that object to standard other class after the 30 days of creation or upload. And after that, if you want to more transfer it to glacier, then you have to wait for more 30 days. That means 60 days after you have created them. Okay. Now expiration actions. You need to define when object expire. The Amazon S3 deletes the expired object on your behalf. If you have the exact date of deleting the data, the Amazon S3 will delete your object. Suppose business generates a lot of data in the form of test files, images, audios, or videos, and the data is relevant for 30 days only. After that, you might want to transition from standard to standard 1A as storage cost is lower. After 60 days, you might want to transit to the glacier class for the long time archival. Perhaps you want to expire this object after 60 days of completely. So Amazon has a service known lifecycle management. And this service exists within S3 bucket only. Okay. What are the policies of lifecycle? Are use lifecycle rules to manage your object. You can manage the lifecycle of object by using lifecycle rule that defines how Amazon S3 manages the object during the lifetime. Automate transition to tiered storage. Lifecycle allows you to transition object to standard 1A storage class automatically and then to glacier storage class. Expire your objects. Using lifecycle, you can automatically expire your object. I can give an example to you how you can expire the object of your storage. As you have seen, there is a 24-hour disappearing messages in your WhatsApp nowadays. After the 24 hours, if there is a disappearing messages allowed, after 24 hours, your messages or the data you have sent or received will be get deleted, as there is kind of a life cycle rule. Okay. The important points to be remembered are it can be used either in conjunction with versioning or without versioning. If your bucket is versioned, you can also use it, or not versioned, you can then also you can use it. Lifecycle management can be applied to both current and previous version of the object present in your buckets. The following actions can be done. Transition to standard infrequent access storage after the 30 days of creation. Can you say lifecycle? Yes. Yes. Transition to glacier storage classes after the 60 days of creation date. It can also delete the objects permanently. Okay, now we'll see how we can choose the options of life cycle management. Okay, so we are in this bucket, the first bucket. In this bucket, we'll go to management, create life cycle rules. We'll just give the name of a rule, that is life cycle. So we can give in the transition or expiration, whatever the kind of action you want to do with your objects. We will give the only life cycle or bucket name I will put. Okay. So limit the scope means you can choose only on this some filtered objects, or you can apply on the all the objects. Okay. Apply to all the objects in the bucket. I acknowledge, yes, I want to acknowledge. Okay. There are some 5 actions showing in life cycle rule actions. The first action is the move current version of object between storage class. Means if you want to transfer, if you want your current version of objects to transfer in the another storage class, as it is in standard class. So if you want to change into the transition, the another transition is standard 1A. So as we have, as we know that only after 30 days you can transit it. So if you keep 25 or something, there is an option a minimum 30 days is required before transition to standard 1A. So you will have to 30 or 31 or more than 30, whatever the you want, but it has to be more than 30 or 30. Okay. After that, if you want to change that object from standard 1A to another, the next transition is intelligent tiering. Okay. After standard 1A, it will also again choose 30 days minimum to change that phase of storage. The integer value of the intelligent tiering must be at least 30 more than the value of standard 1A. Okay, if I put 31, what will be it? 30 is sufficient. Like this, you have to keep the number of days, put the number of days to transit your data from one class to another. Okay. So this is for the move current version of object between storage. Yes, because of lifecycle rule, you can choose the expired data current version or the dates, so it won't get deleted automatically. If you don't put lifecycle rule, then it will be as it is till the lifetime. There is a lot of difference in different storage classes. No, the difference in the different storage classes are the retrieval of that data. If your data is stored in different classes, okay, if you can see, previously I have put this shown this chart. You can see the retrieval fees for standard 1A, 1 zone 1A and glacier are per GB retrieval. In standard storage class, this it's low. If your file size is low, less than 128 KB, then it will be free. But if it is from 128 KB to above, then it will charge you. In glacier, it is 40 KB. Yes, payment is needed. It will charge you after at your billing console per month. Whatever the service we are using right now, whatever the service we are using for this session also, it's been calculated in a system in a for the console, and it will be charged at the end of the month, which will show in our billing console. So the second option is move non-current objects. So objects which are non-currently used or non-versioned means if you have uploaded a data previously and after that again uploaded a new updated data, it means you have a current and non-current version. If you want your non-current version to store in different class, you can choose it from here and transition it from another to another phase. Okay. Then expire current version of the object. The current version of the object, you can number of days expiration when you want to delete that object. It will be from in the number of days from the date of creation of object or date of uploading of the object. Permanently delete the object. As we have a non-current object which are uploaded previously, but so if you want to expire that object, you want to delete that object, then you will put the number of expiration days over here and the number of new version to retain. And delete the expired object delete markers. The objects which are got expired and they have created delete markers. Means it's not get permanently deleted, but it have created the marker. Okay. So if you want to delete that markers also, then you will select this option in multiple incomplete multiple uploads and delete the expired object markers and delete incomplete multiple uploads. So this is how you can create the lifecycle replication rule according to your choice and you want to implement on your data, whatever you are having inside your bucket. Okay. Now I will delete the things I have created on the data on the console as it will get charged. Whenever you are going to shut the console down or log out, you must delete the buckets and the data inside it. The bucket will contain the holding charges on the servers, which will be you will get charged. I have deleted the cross replication rule. Does anyone face problem in creating bucket or versioning it, or facing problem while creating bucket using CLI method? Does anyone? Just right now we are using AWS as a root user. Look, for sharing of bucket, you must know the accept IDs of a bucket and the owner's ID. Okay, and you have to create the cross region replication rule for also that, and a JSON formatted scripted link, or I can say access key. I didn't get your question. Which topic should I learn from the topic? You must learn cross region replication and sharing of buckets from the documentation of AWS console, where you can get the related data. Okay, I will show you the link. Let me see the question. Okay, for AWS CLI installation, you have to install AWS CLI, Windows AWS CLI from Google. Is I'll show you the link. We have previously done going for that. That is AWS CLI install on Windows. Here we can get the installing and updating later version of AWS CLI. From here, you will get the link. AWS CLI. Okay. Now, when you come to AWS console, there is an option of documentation. this page. Show you. On the console page, you will see the documentation where you can see the Amazon Simple Storage Service, from where you will get the all the user guide and data from the Amazon S3 for the Amazon S3 buckets and the best practices for that. Okay. And for downloading, there was a question. The requirement of AWS CLI is nothing but go on Google and search for download AWS CLI. Here you will get the link for 64-bit Amazon CLI. Okay. So for now, you can try to create a bucket using CLI and graphical method. If any problem occurred, I am here to solve that. Just ping a message for it.
माइनर के बोलना है और मेरी की ऑनलाइन में हुई थी अभी वाली फेयर आनी थी टाइम माइन है ना सर क्या हो जाए क्या बोल रहे हो क्या हो जाए क्या बोल रहे हो क्या हो जाए मेरा तो भी है मेरा बंद है मैडम बंद को ये मेरे कितनी गई थी मैंने तो 6 महीने ये ले जाएंगे मैंने 3 ए सेक्शन की 3 बी सेक्शन की हाँ मेरी आवाज आ रही है ना मैडम वही तो मैं बोला मैं आपके आवाज आ रही है ये तो बंद है ये तो मैडम आपके
Hello. 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 Participants. We are done with our S3 simple storage service with taking some extra topic also. Now I'm going to tell you about some EC2 Elastic Compute Cloud, which we will be going to see tomorrow by morning. So I'm giving you some idea about Elastic Compute Cloud. It's the basic activity or basic need of uh, of AWS Cloud, where EC2, that is Elastic Compute, stands for is Elastic Compute Cloud. It is a web service that provides resizable compute capacity in the cloud. Amazon EC2 reduces the same time required to obtain and boot a new user instance in a minute rather than in older days. You can scale the compute capacity up and down as per the computing requirements. Amazon EC2 changes the economics of computing by allowing you to pay only for the resources and the service that you are actually use, rather than you use physically previously to buy servers. If you are not in a need also, you have to pay for the extra physical servers. But nowadays, if you are using some quantity of physical servers with the storage, you only have to pay for that. That kind of facility is provided by EC2. EC2 allows you to pay the capacity that you actually use. Amazon EC2 provides the developers with the tools to build resilient applications that isolate themselves from some common scenarios. Right now, we are doing the ask, that is infrastructure as a service. That means we are creating some services for the end users, which they will use. I will explore you. I will give a tour to you for the console of EC2. What are the overviews? Okay. Okay. As you can see, we are in console home. Here, first we will search for EC2. In EC2, you can see, unlike as S3, we have our region already present over here. In S3, we have global option over here, and we have to choose region after giving name to the buckets. But here we have whatever is the instances we are going to make will be in the Mumbai region. If you see in Mumbai region, there are some zones, that is A, B, C. These are nothing but the data centers available under the Mumbai region. In India right now, two regions are there, Mumbai and Hyderabad. Hyderabad has just recently launched their region. AWS has just launched Hyderabad region with some of the databases. Whatever the data you stored in AWS EC2 console, this just does not store only at the location of single location, but it's stored at multiple location. We can launch instance from here. Launch instance. While launching, we have to put a name, the application and OS images, that is Amazon machine image. In this image, there are pre-configured kernel images which are used, which, which is used to create the different kind of Amazon machines, Linux machine. That is Amazon Linux, Mac OS, Ubuntu, Windows, Red Hat, SUSE Linux, Debian. Okay, mostly we use Amazon Linux, Red Hat, and Windows. As you can see, the Amazon Linux is default selected. We have the architecture also and the kernel name and description, kernel 6.1 with the AMI ID. The instance types we are using are free tier eligible as we are in a studying mode, not in production or development mode. Okay. After the instance type, we have key pair login. It means to access the instance, we have to give a key pair. In macro setting, we have VPC and security group. After the creation of any AWS account, there is a one default VPC, that is virtual private cloud, and security group, which allows you the port to access to the console and the internet. Okay. Security groups are nothing but the firewall and the ports which you can allow is to work is SSH, and with the help of HTTP and HTTPS you can access the internet. At the time of creation of AWS instance, EC2 instance, there is a configured default storage for Linux, Amazon Linux is 8 GB. That is GPD, that is general purpose 3. General purpose 2, IOPS SSD, cold HDD, throughout optimized and magnetic standard. These are the variations of the storage variants, which is dependent on their input and output per seconds capability and the latency of that data reading. In Amazon Linux, we can create a default 8 GB storage. In Red Hat Linux, we can create 10 GB storage, and in Windows, we can create minimum about 30 GB default storage instances. But from here, if we want the same n number of instances with the same configuration, we can put the number of instances over here 1, 2, 3, or 2 or 3 at a time. I'm putting one only, and then launch instance. We are not given the key pair name. We are not created a key pair and not given a name. We can give name after the creation, but we have to create a key pair where we create a key pair and key pair name, that is Amazon. I will put in the today's date. Is rsa.pem and create key pair. It get automatically downloaded to your system. We will launch the instance. Here we can see our instance is getting launched. Sometime we can edit your instance thing over here. That is Amazon. So save. It comes into the running state. After the coming into the running state, we will have their details about public IP and private IP also. Okay. We'll check for the status. We need here 2x2 check to connect the instance. We'll wait for some time to get it 2 by 2 check. Keep refreshing it. As you can see, a 2 by 2 check status is check passed. Now we'll try to connect. Just select the instance and choose connect option. Here you can see the 4 types of instance connector. That is EC2 serial console, SSH client, session manager, EC2 instance connect. We will use EC2 instance connect. Connect. As you can see, we have connected into the AWS console. Okay, AWS Linux server. Now here I will go into the root section. Now right now I'm in a local user. I will use command sudo space -i, enter. Then as I can see who am I? It's a root user. If I want to host something from this console or from this instance, I will put the first of all in security group we have to add some codes.
All of you fill the attendance, and on behalf of AI Department JHRT, I thank Prasna sir for today's session. Thank you, sir. It was very informative session.
Thank you, ma'am.
Tomorrow we'll be starting at 11 again with the same link, and
Okay.
so tomorrow's session will be continued by Units of Technology only. Thank you, sir. Prasna sir. Participants, please give the feedback and attendance. With this, I'll end the meeting. Komal madam, are you there? Komal madam?